Rolling.
Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on RenegadeRadio.com. I am Dark Mark, the goth comedian. To my right, as always,
hi, I'm his co-host, Hannah Bach.
everybody's favorite heavy metal vegan DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a guest on their way.
We do, and we have a very awesome guest in studio right now.
Oh, he's already turned the pants off you.
That's what I do.
That's J. Nihilist Gelo.
Wow.
He just got off a tour with Ron White. Very
No,
funny
just
comedian.
one night. I got one night because I lucked out.
Okay, hold on. That's our other guest. Hold on 1 second. Hi, Dawna. Hello.
I think I hear her in the other
You
room.
were across from Takaya?
No, we're across from Toy.
Toy. Okay.
T-O-I. It's... What street are you on?
I'm on Seaward Street now.
I have no idea where that is.
Okay.
What is around you?
I've got...
Does she know the old Meltdown
Statewell.
comics?
I've got
'Cause we're
Statewell.
No.
I've got
Oh,
World Cup.
compadre.
Chibo.
What's that? Do you know Chibo? Do you know Toy? Do you know Guitar Center?
CNN's here.
Okay, so you're heading in the... I believe... I don't know. So you're on... You're like on Sunset... You're like on Sunset and Vine.
Yeah, so I'm on Cahuenga right now.
You're on Cahuenga. You're going the wrong way.
No, Cahuenga's closer than Gower is.
Is it closer to Highland?
No.
I already passed Highland.
Oh, you passed Highland, now you're in Cahuenga? Yeah, you're going the wrong
You're
way.
going the wrong way.
Okay.
You have to drive west.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna still try to find it because I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's your GPS. It's not you. By the way, that's our other guest, Dawna Lee Heising, who is a scream queen. And be careful. You're on the air. Be careful.
Okay.
There's a cop that just...
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find it, and I've got lots to say. I just got fitted for my arm for Robowoman, which we're shooting
Right.
soon. So, anyway,
Well-
I hope I make it in time.
I hope you do too. Keep me posted. 7518 West Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
If you see Toy,
Okay, thanks.
the restaurant,
Okay.
Gardner is what you're looking for.
Okay.
Gardner.
Gardner. Okay.
Okay.
I'll find it. Okay, thanks. Bye.
And that was directions to the Dark Mark Show.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you ever
Every-
want to, if you ever
everyone
want to
can
come on, go right ahead. So I actually made notes for the show
I noticed.
because Jay's been in some interesting movies such as Vermintown, Evil Bong 666.
I've seen that.
Oh, so you have seen him? Axeman, Zombies versus Strippers,
Seen that.
and the Insane Clown Posse Western movie, Big Money Rustlers.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about all that. Before we get started, Audible. We are sponsored by Audible. If you go to audibletrial.com/DMS, they've got a new deal that I wasn't aware of. I'm very excited this
What's
week.
the new deal?
Not only do you get an audiobook, you get whatever you want. Like Stephen King's Outsider, new book, narrated. It's actually read by Will Patton, the great actor. Trevor Noah has an exclusive, his audiobook for his autobiography, Born a Crime, the guy from The Daily Show.
He's a cool guy. He's funny.
Yeah, well, there's
like
an
him.
exclusive. There's his book
Yeah.
you can get.
And he totally banged that one Republican lady that was shitting on his show.
Which one?
I forgot her name, but he brought her on the show, and it was so clear that right after this, it's like, we're arguing right now, but after this is done, we're totally banging.
So he kind of like pulled a Bill Maher with that one chick. Yeah,
Right.
The other Republican.
It's always, that one Republican chick who.
And you can get any of those books, or you can get The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Any of those. And you also get 2 Audible originals.
Ooh.
In addition to the book, for free. For free, you get a book, and you get 2 Audible originals, such as Hi, Bob. Bob Newhart's new interview, where he interviews Will Ferrell, Sarah Silverman. Rolling Stone has a big audible original about Aretha Franklin. Nice. So if you're a music fan, that's a good one. If you're into scary stories, Lullaby by Jonathan Mays is one of the options. You have 6 options, so you get 1 book, you get 2 Audible originals free if you just go to audibletrial.com/DMS. You can cancel next day. You keep all 3.
Yeah, and Halloween's coming up, so get some spooky books.
Get some spooky stories. Listen to them. You can put them on your tablet. You can put them on your computer. You can put them on your phone.
Keep your kids occupied, too.
Absolutely. No, we had a guest said that he got the Harry Potter books, put them in the car. The kids were just
especially
quiet
if
as
they're
can
over
be.
12, because over 12-year-olds can be fined for trick-or-treating
Well,
this year in certain cities.
If
Or
you got kids,
Mischief
get the
Night.
goosebumps. Whatever you want. Audible.com, audibletrial.com/DMS. See, you just tripped me up. Audibletrial.com/DMS. Support the show. Get some free audiobooks. Go to Doomy's Home Cooking. That's kind of where our guest is right now. It's very close to Doomy's Home Cooking,
Yum.
which is 1253 Vine Street. The best vegan food you ever had.
It really is.
It's vegan food, even big guys like you and I.
It would be the only vegan food I've ever had.
But you would love it. I was there with my parents a couple weeks ago. I had a shrimp po' boy. It's huge. It was delicious. They've got Philly cheesesteaks, pulled pork. They have a Mexican restaurant next door. Doomy's Next Mex. Biggest flautas I've ever seen. Yeah. We went a month ago. She had bacon cheese fries and a Big Mac. Mm-hmm. This place is unbelievable. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Mm-hmm. Doomy's Home Cooking, Doomies.
Best of both worlds. You can take a burger and you can take your burrito and you can mix and match. Go sit outside, inside.
That's right. You can take food from one restaurant to another. So somebody likes Mexican, somebody likes shrimp po' boys. You can eat either place.
Yeah.
If one place is busy, go to the other place. 1253 Vine Street. They're going to build another one in Culver City, and there's one in Toronto. So all of our Canadian fans go there.
You do know how many vegans it takes to change a light bulb, right?
Do tell.
Come on, man. Vegans can't change a thing.
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
Okay, so we're starting off with vegan jokes. I hope. Actually, that probably would go over well with the Ron White crowd. So Jello, I don't. We seem to know all the same people. I don't know when did we meet. I met you fairly recently when you started doing your show at the Universal Bar and Grill.
We've been in the same room at the same time before that, though.
I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot easier to remember someone when
we resemble each
you're
other.
on the show they're hosting, and yeah, we do look fairly similar.
Yes,
I'm
a little more handsome. But
I still like that's what you said the very first time I called that out when he was on my show, and I said, this next guy up, we're not related, even though I've been asked several times, because I did get that before we actually talked to everything. It's like, are you the guy with the
goth
suit?
guy?
I'm like, no, that's not me. And so I invited him up, and I said, and we're not related. And he goes, yeah, but we both think we're better looking than the other one, don't you? Don't we?
That's true.
Like,
you do think you're
yeah.
better looking than I am.
and I imagine vice versa is true.
Yes.
So yeah.
And for you YouTube viewers, go ahead and comment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in.
What's your suggestion?
Please,
Let's actually have a vote on this.
Please, all three
finally.
of you. Yeah, please comment. So,
Of course, now I'm going to post the shit out of this just so I can win.
There
finally.
we go. We'll have a
you
poll.
know what?
I need that in my life right now.
Yeah, go ahead, please. I don't mind as long as we get the hits. Although we're still not monetized, but that's a whole other thing. Now, Nihilist Gelo. Now, how did you come up with that pseudonym? And that's Gelo.
Gelo.
Not Bill Cosby. Jello.
Exactly. And the spelling difference is because I did get a cease and desist from Nabisco one time.
Wow.
Saying that I can't spell my name that way.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So you and Green Jello got. Wow, that's great.
Apparently, they're on the lookout ever since Green Jello did that 25 years ago.
Right.
And I used to write like silly article. I wrote an article. The article that Nabisco got me on was an article I wrote about McDonald's hamburgers being chopped up missing children. Because I'm like, have you ever noticed that at all the other fast food restaurants, they're trying to find the missing children, but at McDonald's they want to help Jerry's kids. And that's because they want to help kids get smart enough to run away from home. Have you ever tasted a McDonald's hamburger? It's a little softer. It's a little sweeter than its counterpart. It's because it's the tasty, tasty flesh of ground-up runaway children.
The innocence.
And the nihilist thing, I've been a nihilist for. Someone called me that once, and I like the word because it's really like it sounds tough, but it just means you're a hypocrite.
Really? Are you a hypocrite?
Oh, everyone is.
Yeah.
Like I'll change my mind tomorrow about something that I'm vehement about right now.
Right.
I can't tell you what that particular subject is. But
Well, what's
it's gonna
something that
happen.
you've changed your mind on and been a hypocrite on in the
Millions
past?
of things. I mean, I've been a vegetarian at one point. I was
really?
a total activist at one point, and I changed my mind on all of that because I don't think, especially with the way, like, because everyone has, hearts in their eyes. I was like, I'm going to change the world, man, and everything's going to get better. And then you meet other activists, and you're like, you people are just wimps and horrible, delusional morons who just don't want to do anything.
Right.
Recently, the people I've been mad at recently are the rioters. It's like, we're going to riot because of police violence. But what they riot is like a fried chicken shack that's independently owned by some people.
Right.
And it's like, why are you destroying an independent business when you're mad at the police? Run into the police station, riot there. It's like, well, we're going to get hurt there. It's like, yeah, a lot of people are.
You're
definitely going to get hurt there.
Right.
Yeah, that's always the the riots never work out because they always.
And certain things like I'm definitely more of an aggressive activist, I guess. If I was still like that, I like the term slippy better than hippie. I think violence does solve a lot of things.
Oh, really?
And maybe I'll change my mind about that tomorrow because I'm a nihilistic hypocrite.
What did violence change?
Well, they always say violence isn't the answer, but violence is a great answer. It just might not be a good one.
Right.
Violence changes everything. War changes things. If it didn't, we'd have a huge Germany right now.
Yeah.
We'd still all be drinking tea.
Now, is this something that you came to the conclusion when you were wrestling, or?
No. Wrestling's like moshing to me. It's like I enjoy chaos.
Right.
I've always enjoyed chaos, and there's a lot of chaos in things. So when you can take it and embrace it, it's to me it seems to make everything else a little easier.
Right. Because we had Liam here a few weeks ago. He used to be a wrestler, and used to be. How far did you go with it?
I did pretty well. Like I actually started as I don't know Liam's thing. I wasn't an entertainment wrestler when I started. I was a real semi-pro fighter. Like I did mixed martial arts and
okay.
Oh, wow.
And I got to entertainment wrestling through friends and then played on different I did get to certainly I got paid a little bit. And by paid I mean I got $50 to wrestle in a high school gym with people who once were in the WWE, but are now also in that same high school.
Oh,
gym.
so it was like The Wrestler, the movie.
Yeah.
Like you were there with a bunch of like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and he's like 60 years old.
And tons of people are like, "You don't know what this is about, kid." And it's like, actually, I'm just getting beer money. This is your life.
So what was your record?
Well, what was your
Didn't
name?
keep
What was your
track.
wrestling name? Was it Nihilist or?
Yeah, Jay Nihilist. And I just kind of walked out there, kind of ripping off Raven. I had,
Okay.
I wore ripped up jeans and tank tops or whatever, like
Kind of a gothy sort of
that's
thing.
gotta
yeah, like a rocker.
Yeah. Kind of metal sort of thing.
It wasn't uncomfortable to wrestle in the jeans.
You can't do. Well, the thing is, the first time you throw a high kick, you're gonna rip those things.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
So
Is that why like they all wear jorts?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you wear a big comfortable boxer, then you got your cup and piece on either over or under that, and then the jeans are kind of just for show.
Yeah.
Like they could fall off at any moment. They're like just a hang on accessory.
What's the fight that you most remember?
The fight well, I had a couple that were really cool in like backyards because those people,
that was the thing.
those people really dig going, and it's some of them are pretty realistic fights, like, because you get crazy people in there, and that like the fluorescent bulbs are everywhere. So I remember a couple particular ones in Columbus, Ohio, of all places. We were in a huge backyard. And there's lots of weapons, and we could jump off of a garage as the high, like the
See, that's
the
what's
cage
dangerous.
height. Yeah, and we were all getting really messed up.
Oh yeah, here we
But
go.
when you're young, you're rubbery, and I think that's the one that stands out most in my mind because I like my feet were bleeding like crazy. Like I had huge gouges everywhere. I was black and blue all over the place.
Did you jump off a garage?
I definitely did.
Oh, yeah, jump off a road and stuff.
I actually jumped off the garage the wrong way, and landed on there was this pyramid of logs.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I wonder if I could hit them hard enough to make them spread out.
Right.
Yeah, I could not do that. They did not move.
Ouch.
And it hurt pretty severely. And after that, there's a huge party, and of course, everyone's coming. I'm like, oh, you are so crazy. Can I want to touch the boo-boos and all that.
Ooh.
But I remember that one because it was particularly menacing, and everyone was really hurting themselves. And I think about that. I thought about that several years later when Tony Hawk, the video games were coming out, and they were all popular, and I really liked them. And they inspired me to get a skateboard again to see if I could still do it.
Right.
And I went to the skate park in Chicago, and I tried to jump down some stairs, and I fell down. And when you fall down and you're 15 or you're 18, you're all rubbery.
You get right back up.
You get back up, and you're like, normally you're like, did you see that? I wiped down. I'm going to do it again. But I fell down, and I thought I was dead. Oh. I'm like, all the air went out of my lungs. Like, I felt all the brittle bones moving. And I full on just took the skateboard and turned to a kid who didn't have one. I'm like, do you want to use this? And I left.
Wow.
Like, I didn't ask for it back. I'm like, I'm never getting on it again. There's no point in taking it home.
Smart move, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
But now, is wrestling how you met the Insane Clown Posse, or you just went to an audition for that?
With them, I did a lot of street team work, but I met them through parking lots. At wrestling shows.
I'm assuming you grew up in the Midwest from what you're talking about.
I'm from I lived in Chicago most of my life.
So okay.
A lot of it was there. And it's one of those groups that they're so home, like they're such a home group, like they're tremendous self-made businessmen.
Absolutely.
Like, they have this image and whatever, but they're geniuses, and they're really hard workers. And when you meet them, it's I learned a lot. Is all I'm going to say.
I don't know what he was doing kicking Fred Durst recently, but you know what, that got on the news. Yeah. Hold on one second. Donna's back. Hi, Donna.
Hi, I'm outside. I'm outside toy.
Okay. So you're in the right ballpark. Did you park?
Yeah, this guy. They're doing the Nihilist commercial across the street.
Yeah, we're
park there.
Okay, well, we're across the street. Should we get? Can you go there?
Yeah. Oh, you're across from Tori?
Yes.
Excuse me. Just leave it rolling.
Okay, across the street.
Yeah. Stay on the line. Our producer Lindsay is going to go get you, and so one sec. Hold on. I'm going to switch chairs. So.
Okay, thank you.
We're talking with Jay, and Jay was actually in the Women of Horror movie that we were in.
Yes, I rarely come to Hollywood, but you were so great in the film.
Aww.
So
I
sweet.
wanted to be on your show, but this is what happens when I come to Hollywood. I've been working on Boston here, but it's been mostly out of state.
Right.
I just can't believe that this has happened, but I'm here.
It's okay. You're here. You're here. We're coming to get you. Hold on one second.
Is it where it says look?
No. Look across the street and look for a very cute, short young lady with glasses, and that is Lindsay.
Oh, I see her. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. She's probably across the street from you.
Okay.
So she's gonna lead you in,
Okay, thank you.
and she'll probably we'll see you in a little bit, okay?
Okay,
All
bye.
right.
I see what you're doing.
Back to the Fago
I
conversation.
could have moved.
No, I want the guest to be on camera, and I want to make sure that she's on camera. Mm-hmm. So I want us in the background because Hannah, who as you can see is a beautiful woman, she's never satisfied with the camera angle.
Oh yeah, I'm always complaining constantly.
She's a beautiful woman. Everybody falls in love with her, and then So you got somebody, anybody email you this week?
Like creepy Facebook messages and things like that.
No, your admirers who listen to the show and watch the show.
Actually, I haven't checked my messages. I've been pretty.
Well, you were talking about Insane Clown Posse, and they are genius marketers.
They're very genius, and they've done no one can take away from them what they've created.
No.
And the one thing that I don't want to say it's like a don't meet your heroes kind of thing, but the one thing I took from them is I thought as soon as I work with them once, look, I've made it. I'm in rock and roll, and I'm gonna have a job. And I've had to.
You're gonna be like Twisted, and you're gonna be. There we go.
I've had to get a job.
Look at who's here. Oh my God.
Not dressed, but
Don't worry about it. You look
cute.
lovely. Look how beautiful you look.
oh my gosh! Oh, is
Thank
this
you,
right?
Lindsay. Yeah.
Cute
Thank you.
So this is Dawna. Dawna's here.
I was determined to get here because I live in Huntington Beach. I'm so glad to
That's a
see you
drive.
guys.
But you were getting fit for your new show, your new movie where you play a robot.
Yes, I play a cyborg, and so I'm supposed to have a prosthetic arm.
Yeah.
And I went to see Joe Castro, and he's really famous for doing the special effects. We're so excited to have him on Robowoman.
Robowoman.
And it took me 3.5 hours to get to him, so I was late for that. But we got my arm fitted.
Yeah.
And I should have been here on time, except I ended up in Beverly Hills somewhere. But
You're here now.
yes.
There's your water. Relax. We were just talking because Jay was in the movie Big Money Rustlers with the Insane Clown Posse. And you were saying that you thought you would be in, like you'd be in all their movies and all their.
Well,
you'd be
I actually
like psychopathic kind of thing.
I have worked on all their movies. I was an unpaid intern for the first movie. I got hired through a friend of mine who was doing set work, and I was there one day.
Big Money Hustlers.
Big Money Hustlers, and I was told to wait at a table for someone to tell me what to do and to not let people go into a room. And I sat there for 5 hours, and no one came to tell me what to do. And I just left, and I didn't go back. But that's how I found out really about the band and got into them. Because a few things I did hear while I was on set were very funny.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot of... oddly, in that 5 hours, I learned or overheard a lot of things that later I would use as like rules. Like meeting your heroes doesn't mean you're instantly famous, especially if you're an unpaid intern. They won't remember you the very next time.
Right.
And going about things yourself and how wussy certain things are. Like there's a story about how someone got hit with a donut and they were like, "Can we get a softer donut or something?" Like that.
That's funny.
And I heard all this in a day, and then I left. I never came back. And then I saw the movie, and I really liked the movie. And then
I did too. I remember that was like the Misfits did a cameo, Jerky Boys did a cameo,
and then
Rudy Ray Moore.
They didn't make another movie, but they're in another movie called Death Racers, which is an asylum film, and I'm in that.
Wait, Insane Clown Posse were in a silent film.
Asylum.
Oh, asylum
They
film.
make good films.
You know, here,
Sharknado.
Yes.
the Sharknado
Yeah,
people.
they're great.
Yeah.
It's David Gare.
Yeah. And I'm in that, and then I was the assistant casting. I read as Violent J for people auditioning for the movie for Big Money Rustlers.
Oh, okay.
And I've got lots of funny stories about that. Like one of the Asian bathhouse attendants actually tried to be an Asian bathhouse attendant at her audition, and I'm like, whoa.
Method actor.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Couldn't resist, apparently.
I got yelled at for yelling a lot because I'd be in character. Like I don't know. I tried.
You were trying to be like Violent J.
Yeah. Well, I wanted a part, and so I kept thinking being a casting assistant is my foot in the door for a part.
Yeah.
And I'm in there, but
Yeah. What did you play in Big Money Rustlers? It's been a while since I've
I
seen
get run over by a stagecoach, and I do a lot of stand-in work for other actors.
Okay.
I was the nothing. I'm a bitch on the set of that movie.
Okay, so
but it connected me to a band I like, so I like to call out the fact that I've worked with them a bunch of times. I mean, but I've worked with Eric Roberts, who's everyone's worked with also.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He's in like every movie.
Yeah.
And every Lifetime movie.
Yeah. And he came up to me one time, and he's like, "I don't like actors, but I like you." And I'm like, "Does that mean I'm a terrible actor?" Or does
Well, this goes with the doppelganger effect because I met him at Montepalooza a few years ago. I was all goth out. He's like, "Man, I like that. I like that makeup. I dig it." And I tried to get him on the show, but I couldn't get him on the show. So anyway, you were talking about Asian bathhouse attendants. Are people surprised that you are Asian, Dawna? Because you do have that blonde bombshell look.
Well, I tell everyone, so everybody that knows me knows that I am. But some people that haven't met me before are surprised.
Because you have that. Because I didn't catch it the first time I met you, but you were in makeup when we did that scene together.
Yeah.
But you were.
I was dead.
But I brought you back to life with my jokes.
That's right.
Miss Chinatown. You were Miss Chinatown San Francisco, correct?
Yeah, years ago. It was a great experience. They sent me to Hong Kong and to Taiwan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah.
And actually, your family's all full of show business. I read that. Is it your uncle that's Tak Fujimoto?
Yes. So I'm Chinese, Japanese, and American Indian, and my uncle Tak was the DP on Silence of the Lambs in Philadelphia and Sixth Sense, and he's actually in textbooks. So we're very proud of him.
No, he's one of the top cinematographers of all time, I would say, with that resume.
I think he is.
Yeah,
Silence of the Lambs, is a classic.
It is.
I don't think he's ever won an Oscar, but he's been nominated, and he should have won an Oscar for.
You know what? I think everybody on the set won the Oscar, and he did such a great job.
Except for him.
Yeah, and if you saw Sixth Sense, I mean, I'm not the expert on cinematography, but if you watch Sixth Sense, it's amazing what my uncle did. He made that film. He also worked on, I think it's called Unbreakable.
Yeah.
And if you look at that, I mean, his work is just impeccable.
Well, just aside from the Lambs, obviously there's direction, there's other things, the acting, but just the way it's lit, especially when they go into the jail and all
the
that.
butterfly stuff too.
Yeah, when they lit the behind, it was amazing. So he's so you come from a show business background, and you were actually you were in Blade Runner.
Yeah, when I first started out, I was very young, and I had a lot of small parts in big films.
Yeah.
I was very, very lucky. Blade Runner, I was a dancer in it. But I was on the set for like 3 weeks. I have a really small part, but it was amazing.
Did they cut a lot of stuff out, or they just kept you on call? Or?
No, in movies that big, you're just there working. I was in the Asian scenes.
Yes.
Chinatown scenes.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was also a prostitute, but I was a cage dancer. But
right.
It took
in the movie.
In the movie.
Yes.
And then I saw Daryl Hannah do the. I mean, not Daryl. Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl Hannah when she did the flips.
Daryl Hannah did the flips, and it was just an amazing experience. But in those days, the movies were so big budget that even if you have a small part, you're on the set. There's all this catering. You're kind of spoiled.
Was that your first movie?
It was one of my first. I did some TV.
My Fantasy
agent,
Island, Magnum PI.
Yeah, and my agent back then was Ray Cavallari, and he's still my agent.
Oh wow!
No, he's great. But then I took a break for a while, and I went back and I got my MBA, and I was in technology marketing for a long time. I was a VP, and then
you were a publicist for a while, weren't you?
I started marketing departments. I started 4 marketing departments from the ground up. And that's where I learned PR. And so that's why...
We could use some lessons here at the Dark Mark Show. I don't think the word's getting out.
Well, I miss Social Butterfly for Effective Magazine because it is a passion. I mean, I love acting. That's number one. I've been studying it my whole life. But I love PR, too, because it's what I used to do for companies.
Well, would it be safe to call you a scream queen?
Scream queens are really famous for that, like Brinke Stevens, who is in Robowoman. So I'd be honored to be called a scream queen, but I don't think I really am because I don't think I've been in anything big enough to be called a scream queen.
Although you've been in Grindsploitation 666,
yeah,
The Alien's Wife. I've got quite a few things here, and this is what
they weren't horror, So scream queens were the ones that get killed.
Yeah, because this is what Hannah's always wanted to do.
Since I was a little girl, yeah.
You were in an Amityville horror movie. You were in The Grim Weaver. You were in
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff. That was it. Vape Wary.
Vape Wars. That was more of an action television series. See, I've done really a lot of action, a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
And I've done since
like Horn Dog's Beat Party.
Oh, that was a comedy.
Yeah.
And that, lately I'm working with this genius director named Dustin Ferguson.
Okay.
And that's why I'm doing all of this horror now.
Mm-hmm.
But Dustin won Best Director, and I won Best Actress Science Fiction for Nemesis 5.
Right.
And that was executive produced by Albert Payun, who is a legend. And so Dustin is also going into different genres. He's a fixture in horror. He's done 50 films, I think. But
Right.
now he's doing, he did Nemesis 5 and won awards for it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're doing Robowoman starting November 8th.
Right. And Nemesis 5 is kind of like spun off of Cyborg, is that?
There was Nemesis is a fantastic film. It's a classic. And Carrie, I can't ever remember his name, but you would know him. Hiroki. He's got 3 names. And he was
I know who you're talking about. The guy that was he was in Mortal Kombat. He was the villain.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He was in it. Oliver Gruner was in it.
Right.
Deborah Shelton was in it, who was Miss USA and was absolutely gorgeous. It's an amazing film, and it's the classic of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And my co-star in Robowoman is Sue Price, who starred in Nemesis 2, 3, 4, and 5
Okay.
for Albert.
So you took this long break. You went and you got your MBA.
Mm-hmm.
And you got married, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably 20 years. Why did you get back into it?
I love acting. I didn't want to leave in the first place. I was with a theater company for 12 years, but I'm from an Asian family, so I had to go back and finish my bachelor's. And actually, I had just done Magnum PI. I was Cleo the Snake Dancer, and I had just gotten. I had gotten to a really good place in my career, but my personal life fell apart. So I had to. I have 2 daughters. I had to move back into my mom's house and start all over. So I finished my bachelor's and got my MBA, and then I started a business career.
Right.
But acting's always been my passion and my first love. So 8 years ago, my husband just told me I could go back, and
That's nice of him.
Yeah, I have a wonderful husband.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now you were talking about you were in Magnum PI. You were the
Cleo the Snake Dancer.
Snake Dancer, because we were talking before. Well, we were waiting for you.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Well, we were talking with Gelo here about his sideshow hijinks.
Yes, I've been in many sideshows.
Now, how did you get into that?
When you're interested in something, I tend to push it as far as I can. So
Right.
the first sideshows I saw was a kid when you'd go in and they'd be like, "We're gonna unveil behind here the man-eating chicken."
Yeah.
And there's a man-eating chicken, and then like the dolls of things, and I started reading up on things that they do in there. I've always liked fire breathers, and then I saw the Jim Rose Circus when I was a young teenager, and I'm like, I want to know how they do that because I know it's a trick. And the first thing I learned to do was eat glass.
And he's not going to do it right now. Well, what's the trick behind that? Or maybe he is. I don't know. Yeah.
Hey.
What is the trick? I always ask a couple people and they never divulge. Just get it in small enough pieces, or
Basically.
yeah.
But still, doesn't that tear up your stomach?
Or get a little shard in your tongue. Or...
I know.
Well,
I hear if you get it small enough, it turns your feces glittery.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
Especially if
Red
there's
glitter.
glitter in it. No, it's kind of without giving too much away. It's you could also eat sand.
Oh,
Yeah, that doesn't sound very appetizing.
Yeah, it's not the best thing in the world. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
gonna
not
start.
Doomy's home cooking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna start doing that instead of my vegan burrito or
Yeah.
Yes.
whatever.
I'll tell you, the vegan burritos are good at Doomy's.
But yeah, and then from there, I got into breathing fire, and
Breathing out, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you have to make sure you don't have to actually get your lungs right.
Well, eating fire is just, I mean, it's like putting a match out. But I mean, I don't like doing that one as much because it's not as much fun. You could do a lot of there's people are getting really innovative now with breathing fire, and I'm not nearly as good as some of the people I've seen. But I've seen, you wax your face up enough, and if you could control your breath, you could keep the fire going and move around like a dragon. And that's pretty cool. And but the thing that was easiest for me to do and seemed to get the biggest reaction from audiences is I used to lift a couple cinder blocks with my scrotum and walk a
couple of cinder blocks.
I could lift 2.
Wow.
And it's with that it started with I'm gonna take this gym bag or this, and then it, lying, and then as you build it up, you start
with a paper clip, and then you
and then eventually have to do something cool, and I think the most interesting thing I picked up was I stood on 2 3-foot ladders and picked a bicycle up.
Wow.
With your scrotum.
Well, yeah.
How do you do
And your
that?
scrotum was out?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't want to. That's for private use only. I don't want to.
It's
I
for
don't want
you-
people to see my scrotum.
It's for
even if I'm
young
doing something.
kids because it definitely leaves a mark.
So I mean, how loose is your sack?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Extremely. I like to make a joke that I could do perpetual motion with my knees and my ball bag at this point in my life. I'm after that 40 mark, and the race between my balls and shaft. The balls are far out.
Yeah. I was gonna
far-
say because it sags anyway.
Yeah.
And then you got the cinder blocks.
Yeah, if I'm in a high watered bowl, I have to lob them over my shoulder.
Sure.
Do you wear
It's not that
gloves
bad.
when you?
Yeah, I pretty much just whip out the front. For one, I only want you to see the ball bag because that's huge and pendulous, and the rest of it is very average. I don't want anyone to see that.
I'll take your word for it. I'm sorry. Hannah, did you want to find out more? I'm not sure. Go right ahead.
You didn't have to say that.
Yeah. And in your dating life, are they surprised? Are they like, whoa?
No. I don't have a dating life for one, and generally. It's a giggle point more than anything else. It's like, oh yeah, dude, you'd really expect more from this.
Have you been dating guys with loose sacks? Is that what's happening, Anna?
I don't know. No,
No?
I haven't
Okay.
seen anything in a long time. I'm keeping
Right.
it that way.
Well, you were saying. You were saying about getting older. I got to tell you something, and I'm not going to say how old you are. I think I saw something, but I was
And
shocked.
that one's wrong.
I was shocked because you are still a bikini model,
Yeah.
and
That's awesome.
and
I'm 10
you're older.
years.
You're older than most bikini models.
Oh, definitely. I really am, but I'm 10 years younger than what you saw, and it makes me mad. I've been fighting about it. But
Even at that, I mean, it just the body for 25 is amazing, and then
thank
yeah.
you. Well, I'm a pole dancer, and I've been taking Tang Sudo martial arts, but I think it's being Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah,
that's-
'cause we
Great
have-
genetics
we have,
and Native American as well.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
have thicker skin, so I think that.
But as I
allows
say,
me
you
to
do have
a
that blonde
career.
bombshell sort of look.
Yeah, I do.
How did that happen? How did you cultivate that?
I think when I came, obviously when I did Magna, I used to play a lot of Asian prostitutes. If you look at my IMDb,
I didn't look that hard, but okay, I'll take your word
I
for
made
it.
a living out of it because prostitutes are always Asian, and so I always had a lot of parts. But when I was in business, I just went blonde, and then when I came back to the business, I just went blonder,
Yeah.
and.
It was you didn't want to be stereotyped. Is that what it is, or
I just think as you
or
get
a different
older,
stereotype?
Well, I think as you get older, I think you can't have really dark hair, because it ages you,
I
right?
agree, yeah.
So I just went blonde, and then someone told me, a really close friend, actually the first friend I made on Facebook, told me I looked like Bridget Bardot, and then I thought, I love her.
Yeah.
You do.
You know,
Yeah.
so then I just went for it.
Yeah.
And I think, it served me well because I do get a lot of parts.
Yeah. And
But-
now you're going to be a robot and everything.
Well, now I want to branch out. I'm studying at South Coast Rep, and I was with a theater company for 12 years. So I am a trained actress, and
An award winner.
I do want to branch out. And well, actually, this year I'm doing it. I'm playing different parts that require acting. You
Right.
know, not just being a bikini
Yeah.
model or anything
Because
like
parts
that.
I think one of the higher profile movies that you did, so to speak. Now we're all. I'm giggling over everybody's discography. Both your IMDb pages are hilarious. Just some of the movies, and mine's getting there. But you were in Samurai Cop 2
Yes.
with Ling and Tommy Wiseau from The
Well-
Room.
Yes, I was so lucky to get that. I have a really small part, but it was with Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah,
So that's when my career started to take off, is because
yeah.
Tommy blew up, and actually if things hadn't happened to James Franco, he would have won the Oscar, and it would have been even bigger.
Yeah.
But, Hollywood.
like what's it like acting with him?
Oh, it was so great. At the time, I didn't know who he was. I
Right.
knew Gregory Hatanaka, who's a wonderful director.
Right.
And it was the biggest budget film that I've done because it was like $100,000.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to teach him how to use a sword, and I didn't know how to. So he took me off stage, and he showed me how to show him how to use the sword. He was so nice and so sweet.
Wait, Tommy showed you to show him?
How to show him.
Oh, because he knows how to use a sword.
Oh, yeah, he's really good at it. And he's incredibly dynamic, very charismatic and sexy. He just has this extra something. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I knew he was somebody, but I just didn't know.
He does have a charisma. You can't.
I know.
You can't understand a word he's saying, but he does have charisma.
Well, I'm so happy for him that he hit it big last year, and
Yeah.
it helped my career immensely.
Yeah, because people are watching that scene on YouTube with the two of you a lot. And how's Ling? She seems a little. She seems a little nuts.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. She's very talented, but
Well, actually, I have a television show called Ion Entertainment.
I was going to mention that. Yes.
I only do it now to promote the films that I'm in, that I act in. But I acted in, it's actually called Revenge of the Samurai Cop now. So I did an interview with Ling, and she was really nice.
Was
I
she?
was
Okay.
a little bit scared because, you just never know how
She
people-
has an odd reputation.
Well, she doesn't smile very much. But she was really pleasant and
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
And I was just glad to be in the film with her because she's a star. I mean, she started out as a star. I think in this business, the more you work with stars, the better it is for you, no matter what the part is. Like I've worked with Eric Roberts in Las Vegas, Vietnam. I have a film coming up.
What's Las Vegas, Vietnam? What is that?
You know what? It's got. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it. It's
Okay.
got 4 huge stars in it.
Is that the one with Tom Sizemore?
No, that's the one I was just going to tell you about.
Sizemore.
I just got it. I'm so excited. It's called Fruit of the Poisonous Tree, and Colton Dietz approached me
Okay.
and gave me the part.
So you're gonna be acting along Tom Sizemore.
I have a scene with Tom Sizemore.
Sizemore.
And I'm thinking of Wiseau.
Yeah.
Tom Sizemore, and I'm so excited about that, and I'm so grateful to Colton.
He was a good-looking guy in the day.
Was
Tom Sizemore.
Was he?
When he was young, he was pretty cute.
Well, he's also made a
Well, I mean,
comeback.
he's not bad looking as Scagnetti.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
It's
that's
gone a little crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. The Speedo's always got me when he's in bed with the girl. But
He was in a huge TV series last year. I can't remember the name.
he started making a comeback, and then he got like an old Me Too trouble. And
The Celebrity Rehab he did as well.
Yeah,
Is that what happened? Because he was in something. I don't want to say. Well, something like Breaking Bad or something like Better Call Saul. Something huge.
he was guest. No, he was in Twin Peaks last year,
That was it.
and he was great.
And see, I love Twin Peaks.
He's a terrific actor.
So that
The
makes
talent's
me
never been in
excited.
question, but
Yeah.
obviously he's had a drug problem, and he just seems. Hopefully he's over that, but
He dated Janice Dickinson for a while.
well, who didn't? Who didn't? But
Yeah.
but anyway, you were talking about Eric Roberts, Las Vegas, Vietnam. Who else is in that?
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about
Okay.
it. But
Is there room for another fat guy? Is what I
Is there room for two other fat guys? Because we want in.
it's fantastic. Ron Bex is doing it.
Okay.
And Tina Lee, who is wonderful. She's the executive producer.
Right.
And I'm going to be doing other projects with Tina. When it comes, it's got four, maybe I can say Lorenzo Lamas.
Ooh.
But there are two others who are
Okay.
just as big. or
On
bigger.
that level.
Yeah.
That Eric Roberts, Lorenzo
And-
Lamas level.
If it comes out, believe me, I'm going to be publicizing it everywhere. But
Yeah.
I got, I'm not a publicist. I'm an actress. My manager kills me when I say I'm a publicist. But
But you're your own publicist.
I'm my own
Yeah.
publicist. I publicize myself. But I also got Tina an article in this great magazine, and she had to back out of it because their new distributor wanted to do all the press for the film. So
So is the secret for publicity just contact everybody, just put it out there, and just try to? I mean, because I'm having a frustrating time, especially with social media, Facebook, Instagram, just getting word out. What do you think is
About
the
the
secret?
show?
Yeah, well, about my career, my show, everything, my comedy. I've got talent. I want the
I
world to
know,
know.
He's very
Well,
funny. He's
I mean,
very funny.
I shared. You were so great in that film. I have to tell you, that's the only reason I'm here because I don't really do interviews
And I
unless
appreciate
it's my
it.
own show.
I appreciate. I so appreciate it.
So please forgive me for being late.
No,
But
no,
I don't
I'm
know
glad you're
Hollywood.
here.
I don't know Los Angeles that well, but you were great in that film, and that's why
Yes.
I shared that everywhere.
I appreciate that.
Facebook is dangerous because there are so many. I'm going to say it. There are so many fake people on it. You have to really be careful. But if you're careful, it's a great place to publicize what you do.
Right.
I'm not so sure about Instagram. Instagram is just pictures, and since I'm a model,
Yeah.
I have to tell you something that happened, though. And I'm not going to mention the name of the film, the TV series.
Right.
There's this really popular series in the UK, and it's by a company that's huge. They do another series kind of like Survivor.
Right.
Okay, they're moving to the U.S., and they contacted me off my Instagram. But I looked at the show, and it's these people who want to make you over.
Oh,
And
okay.
so in the beginning, they have you come out, and you look crazy, and these stylists roll their eyes at you, and they ask people on the street to rate you, so these people are getting 2s and 3s. And then
Oh,
they
okay.
I know
make
what
you
you're talking
over.
about.
I mean,
That's
why would I do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
what
Well,
you're-
I know I would do it because I'm a 2, but you,
Oh.
no. But no,
And if
for
it
you that's
pays,
ridiculous.
I'm in as
If
well.
it pays, yeah. Well, you were telling me you were in.
Well,
You've been in
it
a bunch
pays.
of reality shows. You were talking last week. You were in Storage Wars. You were in.
Oh, that's great.
What
So
a-
you make money from that.
Yeah, a whopping like half your rent check at one time. But yeah, reality TV back in the late aughts and the early 2010s was just out of work actor heroin.
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh, I can't get a part. Maybe I could get my car towed. You know, maybe.
People think it's real people on the street. It's all actors.
Yeah.
I was on Twins Happily Ever After. You were on a bunch of shows.
Yeah, Storage Wars, World's Worst Tenant, and,
Repo.
Op Repo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I'm 42 deep on IMDb, and I get people writing me. It's like, they really take your car, yo.
And no, people do. People think that you're the real guy. People think you're the tenant.
Yeah.
People think that, yeah.
It's like I just had back a few years back when the Dead One Women came out. It was like I had a starring role opposite Eric Roberts, and people were like, "Were you on Solitary? Were you number 9?"
Oh, you've done the prison ones.
Yeah, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was on a game show once.
Yeah.
But see, those get seen. I mean, that's a good way to promote your show.
It is, yeah.
If you can find one that's not going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I really do think you need to protect your brand.
No, really. First off, figure out what your brand is, and then just do everything with it.
Yeah, and make sure everything that is publicized is positive, because there's so many trolls around.
Oh yeah,
There are.
You know, especially if you're like, this famous. I mean,
nobody trolls you. Nobody would dare.
Do you guys read your comments, or do you just not do it?
I just don't. When I was in pageants, I won Ms. World a while back, and I got on this celebrity thing called delisted. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's like the worst. And they're all celebrities, but people write in and say terrible things, and somehow a terrible picture of me showed up there.
Right.
And I had people writing in that I was a transvestite and just terrible, terrible things, which I'm kind of used to because I've been in the public eye for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
But my husband is a financial advisor, and his prospective clients would look up him, and he's not my Facebook friend. He's not connected to me anywhere. But somehow they found me on delisted, and he lost a few clients.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it turned out to be a really good experience because there are a lot of witches on the site, and I decided to just roll with it. And I just said, look, it's a terrible picture, and I'm the terrible retoucher who tried to change it, which I was. And so this one witch took pity on me, and she told everyone that I'm a good sport. And then she found this really nice, innocent picture of me in a white dress and posted it. And she was just so nice. I'll never forget that.
Have you been saying witch this whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I not supposed to?
Oh no! I was like, you're saying witch so nonchalantly. I know it's the Halloween season, but
Yeah, no, she's a real witch.
oh okay.
Delisted has a lot of real witches.
Oh okay. I didn't.
Yeah, that's why it was a little bit scary. Trolls are just trolls. You can just ignore them. And I do. I ignore all of it. I delete them in the first place and block them.
Yeah.
And do everything I can to get rid of them.
Right.
And even some women that have been in films with me that turn out to be trolls, I just block them and forget
I'm
them.
jealous.
I even got a story.
Yeah.
And then she had her boyfriend. She told me that I was just going to help her with this and be a background person in it. And I thought I was helping her with a commercial. Turned out to be a stupid student commercial. And this guy had me talking for an hour. He said it was rehearsal. Then he cut together this terrible, terrible commercial. And luckily it's a student film.
Mm-hmm.
But she put it on her Facebook page. And she won't take it down, so I blocked her, and I just learned my lesson. It's like I'm too trusting, too nice.
As a big guy who's not really famous, I totally placate people who find me on it. Like the one year I was in a few movies, and I started getting weird friend requests. I talked to all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. And most of them are like dudes who want to friend me because they want to see if I'm friends with the women in the movies.
Right.
Like the one time I got interviewed, the first question was, what's it like to work with all these scream queens? I'm like, it's like working with hot girls at a bank. You do your job and then you go home and they don't have sex with you.
That's a good answer.
It's the same thing. And there's this one guy who he kept talking to me. He's like, we're going to ball when I get to LA.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
We're going to be such friends. And then he wrote me one time this long letter. He's like, how come you haven't put out anything new? Don't you care about us anymore? What, you think you're just sitting there on your high horse and you're not? I'm like, dude, I'm not the one who doesn't want to pay my rent. Like,
crazy people out there.
Yeah,
it's like, why am I not in movies? Because I'm working at a fucking arcade as well.
Oh yeah, you're not happy about your current working situation.
No.
But you did just do a show. I thought you said a tour, but a show with Ron White.
I had one show with him in Kentucky.
How'd you get that?
It just ended up that he was there at the same time I was there, and I got a little
okay.
bit of stage time. So that was great, and better than that, it was a bourbon festival. So all the bourbon royalty was around.
See,
anyway.
you and Ron White at a bourbon festival. I guess all the bourbon was gone when you guys left.
Oh, there's so much bourbon. I talked to him very briefly. I was just glad that I got to leech onto it for the minute. That it's total oh yeah, shake hands. But now I'm gonna, since I got the handshake in, I'm gonna ride this wave until the wheels.
Well, it's like
come
the ICP thing.
Yeah. It's and so I got to meet Jimmy Russell, who's a former head distiller of Wild Turkey,
right.
And there's a huge party. And if for some reason, when people come up to say hi to you at Bourbon Festival, they bring bourbon to you. So at one point, I had 17 shots of bourbon in front of me, and I had one in the hand, and another person's coming up. First time I ever looked down, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this.
How many did you finish?
All of them.
And how'd you feel the next day?
Excellent.
Really?
For some reason, I think it's just how long I've been a drunk and how old I am. I get hangovers now if I don't drink.
Yeah.
I wake up.
It goes the other way.
Yeah, I wake up because every time I go on a serious bender, if it's like a couple weeks long,
right?
I gotta dry out, and I'll take a week or two off, and those are horrible weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like by the end of the second one, you start feeling really good in the morning, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out and change the world." And then you're like, "Yeah," and then you have a cocktail, and you're like, "Oh, this is where I'm supposed to be all along."
You like to drink?
I'm a fan.
I'm not a big drinker. I mean, I drink once in a while, but I don't get shit faced.
Yeah, I mean, it's better now than now. I'm trying to lose a little weight, so I've been dialing it back. But I'm the guy who. I used to bring 3 Pabst into the shower with me.
Oh, wow. I have a friend that does that.
Did you shower with was that what you used to shower with?
That's it. Make
shampoo?
Your hair real silky and smooth. No, I drink them in there.
Because I've never been one of these guys. I don't know if it's I've never had the money or I just didn't feel right spending it. Just go up to a bar and just drink all night and get shit-faced and whatever.
Well, if you get real good at it, eventually certain places they'll hook you up. Where you don't pay for all the drinks.
Universal Bar and Grill?
I do all right there. I don't like to name names.
Yes.
Because once you start naming names, they stop giving you
They get in trouble.
Say anything. I didn't say. Well, where does the time go? I swear. There's so much more we could have talked about. There's so many more movies we could have talked about.
Captivating guest.
No, they're great. I mean, I didn't even ask Dawna about the movie Boner. I didn't. I did not.
That was a very, very innocent film.
Yeah, I didn't ask Jay about The Art of Pain, or what is this? Ape Man?
Skunk Ape.
Oh, Skunk Ape. Yeah, Skunk
That
Ape.
was there was a short film that got onto Trauma Dance 3. We made that almost 20 years ago now.
Wow.
That's my friends the Brookins Brothers back in Chicago. I was in a bunch of their stuff, and that particular one's fun because it's the first honest feedback I've got from directors. Is I went into audition, and at the audition, I was talking to one of the brothers, Greg, outside, and we were talking about bands and all that.
Yeah.
And I got into the audition, and at that time, I was a bit crazier than I am now. And the part was to scare another actor. And I scared him, but I scared him so bad that the director thought I was legit crazy.
Right.
And he didn't want to put me in the movie.
What's the weirdest audition that you've ever been on, Dawna?
The biggest audition?
The weirdest audition, the most unusual audition, or the biggest audition. Any cool audition story you may have?
Well, actually, I was really excited because I got this great movie called Abstracta with Ryan Schwartz, and it's going to be a television series. And I don't. Looking at today, I don't like to come to Los Angeles, so
we can tell. We got it. We got the hint. Yeah.
Half the time, I get the part. Half the time, I don't. But this year, I think because I've been working so much, I've been getting the parts when I go into audition, and so I was really excited to get that part from the audition.
Right. So it's just you've been doing it so much that it's you're on autopilot now. You're getting everything.
Yeah, so I'm, this year has been wonderful, and I'm very thankful to everyone who hires me. And to
You got about 20 movies coming out in 2019.
I'm doing a lot, and also my mentor, Iki Young. Like I said, you have to build your brand.
Yeah.
He's been wonderful. He's like part of my family, and I think because Iki's so wonderful, being affiliated with him, makes my brand better. And we need to do another film together.
We're gonna do it.
And I'll publicize you to the moon.
I'm going to write something that the four of us will be in, and we're going to scare Hannah. We'll figure something out.
No, seriously.
I'll scare you.
No. I'm being serious. I'm going to take you up on that.
Because I am really good at getting things out.
We had a fun. Well, when you were flirting with me on the set, not on the set, while we were filming.
Yeah, I was doing it, but
Yes.
you were ignoring me.
No, I hardly was ignoring you. I was, Women of Horror, Terror Tales. You're in it. I'm in it. Gelo's in it. He's in one of the short films.
Oh, okay.
It's on Amazon Prime right now for free. And thanks, Gil, Matt, and Candace, who we've had on the show.
Gil and Matt are wonderful.
Yeah, we've had them on the show, and they're great. We'll have them on again. And check out all their haunted. They're haunted.
Is it that what is it? It's Haunted Routes or
Haunted Routes. Their Haunted Routes series is on Amazon for free. They put all their stuff on Amazon for free for the Halloween season. So
That's awesome.
follow them.
The first few episodes are going places. And I kept emailing Matt. I'm like, oh, make sure you look at this and this and this. I'm like, I already did that one. Yeah.
Matt got me into the table when he didn't even know me, and then Gil started Shockfest, and that's where I won my first Best Actress award. And I mean, I'm thankful to Gil for that.
I performed at a Shockfest once. It was very scary. Craig Feldman was there, but that's a story for another time. Dawna, how do people get a hold of you?
They can look at my Facebook page, or they can follow me on Instagram, which is probably the best and
So
the
that's
safest.
DAWNA. LEEHEISING.
And that I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook for those. Then I have a website called DawnaLeeHeising.me
Yes.
or DawnaLeeHeisingActress.com.
Yeah, I think I got the .me, and I was researching thoroughly, so it's a very good website.
Oh, thank you.
And also you have a YouTube channel with your interviews, and I saw your interview with Ling.
I also have an Amazon Prime. Ion Entertainment is on Amazon Prime now. I'm really proud of that. So it has 2 seasons of that, and I'm getting 2 new shows up.
No, you do. Your red carpet interviews are very good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, trust me. I don't know. I know what you think about my freewheeling interview style, but I enjoyed your interviews.
I wish I'd gotten here on time
It's
so
okay.
we could talk about more.
Well, hopefully. 50 movies down the line, which will be 2 months from now, we'll have you on again. So,
well, yeah. Now that I know where it is, I'll come on anytime.
okay. Well, anyway, and Gelo, how do we get a hold of you?
Also Facebook, Nihilist Gelo, Gelo, or I'm on all the mailing things too, Yahoo, Gmail. I tried to get all the Nihilist Gelo ones,
right?
So no one can take them from me, provided anyone knows that name ever.
Gelo.
Nihilist Gelo at anything, but on Facebook it's J Nihilist Gelo. I had to add the J because they kept kicking me off.
Right. So they really think that's your name.
Yeah. Because Gelo, Gelo looks like a last name, and Nihilist is just the word nihilist, and J is my name. There you go. And yeah, also if you're hopping on Amazon, I've got a rock and roll movie on there with members of Guns N' Roses and Dokken and all kinds of shit called Glory Days.
Glory Days.
And I steal it. I am the sweetest Kevin James-esque little cutie fat boy in that movie. And so make me famous. Someone find me. I'm lost and I need help.
Glory Days. I got to check that out. Hannah's going to watch that. That's very metal.
I will.
Hail Hannah Bach, 666 on Instagram.
That's BAKK. And how do we get a hold of you, Mark?
That's Goth Comedian on all social media. It's been a blast. Everybody have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Anyone want a Jello shot?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Careful what you ask for.
Yeah.